Hello, everyone. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast, and I am your host, Chance Bowen. Sorry I did not get an episode out yesterday. I know I told you guys I would try to get one out every day. I was a little busy doing some collaborations with some other creators like Jack Price and others. So I will get you guys that content as soon as we're going to make some clips out of it, and we're going to do some things, so that will be fun. Shout out to Jax for doing that with me. That was pretty fun. We had some good clips. We got to react. I don't really do a lot of reaction videos anymore, although I probably should. Seems like they're blowing up, but we did some, and it was a good time. It's fun to do that. So now I know a lot of people get on their phone and they're scrolling through and they see the most, obviously we know Instagram will, knows your political beliefs, and it will feed you like left-leaning political beliefs or something you don't agree with in order to make you mad and to kind of incite you to interact with those channels. It's kind of interesting how the algorithm works. I also noticed that they shadow ban certain people and don't shadow ban certain people. You can have a guy on there that's like gay and he gets like millions of views and likes. Whereas like somebody who says something that I know everybody agrees with and it was actually a good reel, it doesn't get that much shine. It may get a little bit. I mean, always happy with 1,000 likes or something, but it's just interesting that, they get like off the charts views and we kind of don't get as much. I mean, who knows? It could be that we're not good and we got to get better. That's true. But it also could be because they're slightly shadow banning us, which I think they are in some ways. I mean, it's obvious. They are for sure. I mean, I know some people, not even just me. I know some creators that I'm like, no, they have good reels. Like I like them. I want to see every time they post, I'm trying to watch the next reel. I'm trying to get everything I can what they're saying. And yet still not that many views. And I'm like, what? This makes no sense. So it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of interesting, actually, how they shadow ban us. We know they're doing it, but you can't really prove it. And if you say it, well, then it kind of makes you look like, oh, your stuff must suck, or whatever you're viewing you think must be popular, but it's not. You just have bad taste. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like a problem that we can't really acknowledge too much. We can slightly talk about it, but we can't acknowledge it too much because then it makes us look like we're making excuses on why we don't have numbers, right? So I'm not going to do that. The U.S. government shutdown begins at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time today. The federal government officially shut down after Congress failed to pass funding bill, per The Guardian. This is going to be an interesting one, guys. I've been sounding the alarm, telling everybody that, hey, the government's shutting down because what it comes down to is Democrats want to give illegal immigrants health care. And not just any health care. They are wanting to give them what Trump calls Cadillac care, which is like the best health care. Okay, if you're in America today, and especially if you're in California, and you make like $100,000 a year, it's hard pressed for even those people to get health care. There's no way that the people want to give illegal immigrants health care. It is way too hard for even us to have health care, people who work and have talents of some kind. I mean, that are actually contributing. So no, we shouldn't give healthcare. Democrats are going to want it. They're going to stand strong. Republicans hopefully will stand strong. I've messaged my people that are within my area and said, we do not want illegals to have health care. For the love of God, stand your ground. Do not compromise under any circumstances. We have to stand our ground on this one. Will they is another story. Maybe the Democrats will make a deal with them in some other way and they will come to a conclusion in doing this. But whatever they do, I mean, it's not going to be good for us. We know that. We're going to be giving illegals health care. I mean, who is the Democrat Party? The Democrat Party is just a nation within our nation that is our number one enemy. It's literally it. They hate us. They hate our nation. They hate our people. They don't want to do anything that helps us. They want to do everything that helps everybody else. And then Trump fueled the flames by, which I love, going and posting an AI meme of Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. And they have Mexican hats on, sombreros, and the Mexican music's in the background. They're like, look, the Democrats, it's an AI version. He's not really saying this, but he's like, nobody likes the Democrats. The blacks won't vote for us. Even the Mexicans won't vote for us. And so what are we to do? Now we have to give illegals health care or give them benefits. So even them who can't speak English and really know what we're doing and trying to pass through all this trans crap will actually like us. So it's kind of funny. And, that's Trump's style. And it's interesting to me, a lot of people always want to give me advice. They're like, you need to, you're never going to get the masses. Who cares? I don't want the masses. I don't care about the masses. I care about truth, okay? First thing. Second thing, I mean, they say, look at Charlie Kirk, man. He had a message that was, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, look at Trump, though. Trump won the popular vote, and look how he is. Like, come on. Like, give style advice to somebody else. You get 12,000 views, 12,000 followers on Instagram, and then you give me some advice. It's just interesting to me. The first people that give you advice, like, should not be giving advice sometimes. But Anyway, I'll move on. Food aid programs threatened. The shutdown endangers critical food assistance to about 6.7 million low-income Americans. The food assistance program. So, again, with these shutoffs, these are some of the things that the shutoffs are going to affect. One of those being the food, people that give out free food. And, I hate to say it, like, I'm Christian, I want everyone to survive. I don't want anyone to starve. But maybe we shouldn't give out free food. Because doesn't that kind of incentivize you to not, like, get your life together? Like, if everything's taken care of for you. Like, if the welfare state is too powerful, that's why we're not a socialistic there's no socialistic governments entirely, right? Because people have to have some incentive to get off their butt and work. You can't just hand out everything to them. It's just not right. It's not the way human nature works. Right? Conservative values boring. Layoffs drop, but hiring stays weak. Employers announced 37% fewer planned layoffs in September compared to August, but overall hiring Wow. Overall hiring is the weakest in 16 years. Man, not good. Not good for the workers. Wow, 16 years. And we have 37 fewer planned layoffs because everybody already got fired in August. They already fired everybody. Trump eyes mayor industry deals before midterms. Oh, major. Trump eyes major industrial ideas before midterms. The Trump administration is pushing to cut deals in 20 to 30 critical industries, pharma, AI, energy, and mining, ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. He's gearing up for the 2026 midterms. Wonder what's going to happen in the midterms. I wonder what the results are going to be. Is it going to be a sweeping Democrat victory, or is it going to be the Republicans that hold on? I don't know. I don't like a lot of the things that the Republicans are doing. And one of the things that they're doing right now, Trump gave a speech before the military, and he said some things, like I said, doesn't everybody's style, right? But to me, I love it. And he said, things about, he said some things about military people and that, that they shouldn't be fat and stuff. Well, one of the Democrats, and I forget her name, some representative, comes to the speaker and says, look at Trump. He's so radical. Blah, blah, blah. Look at this rhetoric. It's destructive. I'm letting you know that your president is off the rails. And instead of saying he's not off the rails and that, like, I don't agree with you and you're wrong. Why are you talking this way? Can we have a conversation? Nothing like that. He says, well, yeah, but you guys are radical too. Why would you agree to that? I don't know. That was kind of weird to me. It's like he agreed with her, kind of. It was not, I didn't like it. I didn't like what I seen from Speaker Johnson. That's worrisome. And then we have, other things going on with the Republican Party that we don't like, censoring free speech, right? We don't like that. That's just terrible, and they're open about it. Sickening. Trying to bring in Indians into our country, we definitely don't like that. Energy Department cancels $7.6 billion in project funding. The DOE pulled back funding on hundreds of energy projects, citing inefficient returns, including Democratic-led states. Wow, that's interesting, because I know solar's doing really well, especially in the long term. Not well entirely right now, but it should in the long term. Oil seems to have a little boost because of it. So if you're invested in any of those things, you could look into that a little further. Wow, 7.6 billion. A lot of good things. Banks expect lighter capital rules under Trump's agencies. Under Trump's regulatory, major banks anticipate relief from stricter capital requirements imposed during the Biden era. So deregulation. So cutting costs and deregulation coming out of the Trump administration. What is this? Like freaking, man, I put in the stuff for ChatGPT, like what are the top news stories? And it's like giving me a bunch of like overly pro-Trump stuff. Did they make a deal? Usually they're like half critical, kind of like all over the wall a little bit with Trump. Now it's like pro-Trump everything. Like he put on his socks and didn't mess up this time. Trump court expands its emergency docket. The court broadened its emergency docket, a move many see strengthening presidential powers and fast-tracking cases. So that way, all the actions that Trump is making, they can actually get a decision from the courts on it quicker. Some are arguing and criticizing this, saying that it's expanding the presidential powers. But, I mean, when we're trying to move like one body as a nation, we got to zig and zag. We don't have time. Sometimes, things come at us head on and we got to zig and zag. We don't have time. Trump has to act and do things and make things happen. We can't always wait 6 months for the court to decide if it's okay to do it or not. So I think that's a good thing. I think it makes us more efficient. Hegseth moves to overhaul military watchdog agencies. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is pushing reforms in the Pentagon's watchdog functions, Man, I just can't talk today. Excuse me. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is pushing reforms in the Pentagon's watchdog functions, promoting concerns about accountability. You think? Everybody keep an eye on Pete Hegseth. It's not good. You don't challenge the intelligence agencies, right? We know how that goes, right? But, wow, that's interesting. I don't know what to believe about this, though. I'm gonna have to look in to see what the exact actions are, because they'll take power from these guys, but then they'll just give old power to, Palantir, and just screws us even further. Man, this is a lot of brainwash here. I'm giving you guys a lot of brainwash updates here. A lot of Fox News headlines. It seems like it's like Pete Hegseth is putting a chain on the intelligence agencies. Is he though? Is he really? Maybe some of them. Pop culture flashpoint: Paranormal Park creator and Charlie Kirk backlash. Hamish Steele, creator of Dead End Paranormal Park, faced backlash after allegedly. This is making me mad now. Okay. Hamish Steele, creator of Dead End Paranormal Park, faced backlash after alleged comments mocking Charlie Kirk. Elon Musk canceled his Netflix subscription over it. Steele denies celebrating Kirk's death, per The Sun. So what happened is Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, posted something about Charlie Kirk mourning his death. The creator, Hamish is his name, comments on it and said, how could you, mourn this guy's death? You were an evil shit. Okay, that's what he said. And people were like, how could you do that? And he said, Charlie Kirk, touted certain talking points like against abortion and things, and he didn't agree with that. This show that he's the head of, Dead End Paranormal Park, is sold as a kids' family show on Netflix. But there's not one, but two gay people. One is transgender and openly even says that they're transgender. They are literally brainwashing our kids. So if you are on Netflix, you let your kids watch Netflix, pay attention to what they're seeing. Because that Paranormal Park, and there's Disney movies that have it too now, but you really, really just got to pay attention. But these are the people, they're disgusting. They're just rats, pretty much. How are we going to fix it? That's the question. Everybody talks about it, right? But how are we going to fix it? What's the goal? What can you do? What can you do right now? I say what you should do. And I always say, you can call the Republican Party and try to take over and do those things. But, that's hard, and that takes skill and kind of takes a little bit of certain things. If you have those skills, welcome to it. Go ahead, try to do it. Great. That'd be awesome. But maybe you're not there yet. Another great thing you can do is start a meme page online. That is probably one of the number one things you can do, because you get to be creative. You get to learn how to create. You get to learn how to put political messages and make them fun and kind of, come at you in a way that's not so gripey or preachy like how I do. And this is actually way more effective. And this is, I think, why we're seeing a departure from all these billionaires on the right and the left. The left is calling out AIPAC and the Jewish people. The right is calling out AIPAC and the Jewish people. And the reason why that's happening is because they don't have control over what we hear and read and see anymore. They don't have control over that. They, Fox News, the people that watch Fox News believe them, right? The people that watch CNN believe them. The people that don't, and they consume their media through independent sources online, are able to get a perspective that's not backed by billionaires who are Jewish. And so my advice to you would be to start a meme page where you can start doing your own research. You can start staying connected with these guys and giving them messages, good political messages that people need to see. Make it fun, make it cool, especially for the younger people. And that will be a way we can actually do a lot of good. And it's already happening. I mean, you see the movement that's going on right now online, and not just within the right, but within the left as well. These are overall good movements. I don't agree with the left on anything. I got to say that. Definitely don't hate them. Can't stand them. I don't hate them. I don't hate anybody, but don't like them. But they are starting to break away from their normal marching orders, which is overall a good thing. And that is because the online. Now, the older generation thinks that online is brainwashing us and that we're actually the brainwashed ones. But all the independent creators that I talk to, they're not being paid by billionaires from Israel who own the industries. No, they're not even getting paid, some of them. They're just seeking the truth. They have authority. They have college degrees. They're smart people. They're intelligent people. They're incredibly talented. They have experience in the industries that they're talking about, but they're not being paid to do a certain narrative. Somebody brought this up about Charlie Kirk recently, that, everyone's talking about, "Oh, they love Charlie Kirk, you should be more like Charlie Kirk," right? And it's like, well, maybe that's not your style, and that's okay if it's not. I agree with Charlie Kirk on probably 90% of things. I just disagree with him on a little bit of things. But one of the big mistakes I believe that Charlie made is that he took money from the billionaires to pay for his show. He got millions of dollars from these people. And they were giving him money not because he was saying the truth and they love the truth. No, it's because they were he was toting talking points that they agreed with. Now, if he read something or learned like what our natural brains are supposed to do over time is learn new stuff. Once you learn new stuff, you should then go and tell the new stuff that you've learned to all of your viewers. But Charlie Kirk was sadly unable to do that because his viewpoints are actually being paid for to not change. And then when he did change them, well, we see what happened with him. And I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying he did change, but it was recently. And he actually turned down money from certain billionaires like Bill Ackman in order to change his views. Whereas like people like me who are not getting paid or other creators, if I learn something new tomorrow, I can come on to the next day and tell you guys about what I learned, you know? So that's the difference. You have a big ship, you can turn it quickly. But if you have a bunch of billionaires behind you that are paying you for certain messages, you're not able to change your mind on those things. You have to really think about, is it worth losing millions of dollars? And so this was kind of one of my major things about Charlie Kirk that I didn't like. A lot of people online are like that, but there's people online that are not like that. I challenge you to find those people. Find those people that are not sold out. That should be a major core tenet of the movement, not selling out. Politicians sell out, media people sell out. The movement we should be behind should be the movement that doesn't sell out. Now, does that mean we shouldn't get paid for what we do? No, of course not. There's going to be talented people that are going to get paid, but we need to make sure that the people that are going to be paying us, and I'm going to actually have a radio show soon, and I'm looking for sponsors. So if you want to sponsor me, please do. But through the sponsorship, I'm asking people for money to help me with the show. And I'm going to start with the conversation with, hey, first off, though, watch my podcast. You can see kind of my viewpoints, but also I want to be able to change my mind and talk about what I want to talk about. My main goals is serving the people through truth and kind of giving them my perspective on politics. And that changes, but the core tenets are, I believe I love America, right? I'm Christian. These are the type of values that I want to instill in the show. That's who I am. And when you are sponsoring the show, you're sponsoring me as a person, and my ideas change. And that's good and okay because I am seeking the truth, not just millions of dollars from people who want to offer me money. That is what our movement should be particularly about. I noticed Nick Fuentes, I talk a lot about Nick Fuentes, but he's a good guy. He's doing a lot of good things. One of the really good things he's doing is he doesn't take money from anybody. Nobody's giving him millions of dollars behind the scenes. He makes all his money from his show, and he doesn't do his show sometimes. He goes late and all these other things. These are things we need to be pushing onto the politicians. These are things we need to be pushing about people in our movement. Don't sell out. Don't sell out to these billionaires who want you to say a particular thing. Stay true. Seek the truth like the Bible says to do. Yeah. It's kind of interesting through this podcast. I get a lot of people that are younger that they contact me and they say, how do we get involved? How do we do things? And I just have to say again, if you want to get involved, contact me, message me. We can start planning some things politically. I worked in politics for like 3 years, got pretty high up running campaigns at one point. So I have a little bit of experience. So maybe we can plan something. But these guys, some of them, they come in and they're like, hey, they're asking for advice on all topics. Politics and just becoming a leader. And they go, why does nobody, want to show up to my meetings and my group meetings? That's like, well, you got to be a good leader. You got to charm people. It's not just about they should want to fight for America. No, they do want to fight for America. They just might not want to fight for America behind you. Right. So you have to find out how to be honest with yourself and charm people in order to do that. It's like getting girls. It's like you can't be mad at girls for not getting girls. And I know that's kind of part of our like the right wing movement too. It's like women nowadays. It's like, well, but you also have to be able to charm women. You also have to be kind of not annoying too, right? And so we should work on that. We shouldn't make it about like, oh, it's all women's fault. The reason they don't like us. It's like, no, the reason they don't like you is because you're short, you're white, and you're racist and mad all the time. No, actually being racist helps you with women. Try it out. If you're a guy and you're like, well, I don't know women like me. I don't understand. Try being racist. Worked out for me. Just saying. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. We hope you guys have a wonderful week. Today is Thursday, and there's nothing really going on. I don't think anything's going on. Friday, I'll be doing the show. Oh, we got Friday Live, of course, like always. So look out for that. We're having some really cool guests on this Friday, actually. Haven't came up with kind of what we're going to talk about. I think I know obviously what topics we're going to talk about, but I haven't nailed it down on what the title's going to be. So tomorrow I will let you guys know about that. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. I'm your host, Chance Bowen. We hope you have a wonderful week.